pathetic. Will Madly sent has savage threatening on Memoir after declares to damage Kate thoroughly. Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, could be attacked in Prince Harry's memoir set to be released later this year after concerns have been raised. Prince Harry, 37, will cover his lifetime in the public eye, including his time in the military, marriage, and fatherhood. The Duke of Sussex said the memoir, to be published by Penguin Random House, will be written not as the prince he was, but as the man he has become. But royal commentator Kinsey Schofield has said there are concerns that Harry could disrespect Kate along with Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall. Speaking to GB News, Ms. Schofield said, "If Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and their children did come to celebrate the life of Prince Philip at the end of this month, I can assure you that the royal family would go out of their way to make sure that they were safe and secure and that they had all of the security they needed. This is just a silly excuse to not come out and meet the Queen. I interviewed Richard Fitzwilliams. He said something to me and he says how arrogant and yucky it is to release this book during the Queen's Jubilee year that we're expecting at the end of the year. There are concerns about Harry disrespecting Camilla and God forbid, disrespecting perhaps the Duchess of Cambridge. I do think this is a mistake for Prince Harry. It's hard to sympathize with him, which is ultimately what Meghan and Harry are trying to get from people, when their actions don't match their words. The royal family has been warned the Duke has plenty to tell as the book is expected to be controversial." Speaking to Express.co.uk, royal commentator Jonathan Sakadotti said, "We know that they have these commercial contracts in place with Spotify and Netflix and we may see something coming out of those. We also know on their Imitation Royal tour New York, it was rumored they were filming for some project because there was a cameraman spotted who wasn't part of the press park and Prince Harry was seen wearing a concealed microphone with a wire sticking out. It was assumed they were filming for something during that trip. Then of course there's Harry's book, he signed that massive publishing deal. I think we can expect to see some controversy from that book. However, Prince Harry will ensure he does not hurt Queen with his new memoir," claims expert. Telegraph's associate editor Camilla Tominey shares how the Duke of Sussex's tell-all book will get a critical check from the Queen and her lawyers. On one hand, Harry reserves the right to write up his life story in any way that he sees fit. It is interesting and it's probably the strongest shot across the bows that we've had throughout the whole of the so-called Megxit saga with this briefing that we were given some weeks ago suggesting that the Queen's lawyers would be poring over every line. She adds how this step is a message to America to say don't think you can just write anything that you like as you said at Oprah Winfrey without being challenged on it, without offering a right of reply. Regardless of the pressure from Penguin Random House for an explosive pace, Harry would have to be very very careful to ensure his book does not cause legal troubles. She continued, "The cynic in me would suggest that's overly optimistic because if Prince Harry decides to drop a load of bombshells in his autobiography in autumn and they're legally safe, so he's able to publish them without too much of a pushback and let's face it, he's party to extremely intimate details about the royals behind palace gates, then arguably the palace can't do much to stop him and it's going to generate a huge amount of press coverage." While the memoir could be uncomfortable for the royal family to read, the Duke will be mindful of not causing too much upset to Granny who otherwise has had a tough past year.